Okay, so it's Thursday the 8th of March, just before 10:30 in the evening, and we're back to Twitter enforcement action against DPAT members or shadow banning again. So here we go. It's exactly a week after Question Time and the Universal Credit online action, which we suspect might be the reason for Twitter's enforcement action against Nicola Jeffrey, Paula Peters, Keith Walker and Bob Ellard. Just so you know, the time is 10:27 on Thursday, 8th of March. It looks like the enforcement action or shadow banning has actually been lifted. Let's have a look. So if we start with search for Nicola Jeffrey, if you remember before, we searched for the names and nothing came up. Oh, look now, what a surprise. Nicola's profile is back. We're now seeing tweets from her that she tweeted 5 minutes ago. If you remember before, none of her tweets came up. And her account comes up, and obviously mine, because I'm apparently her boyfriend. So, Paula Peters. Oh, you see, that's odd, because we're seeing all Nicola's tweets. But it would appear Paula Peters is still subject to enforcement action. Because Paula has been tweeting today, and it was interesting to note, Nicola spotted that all of her tweets, Paula usually has interactions with them. No interactions today for any of Paula's tweets, although her account does come up. So it seems like Paula still has enforcement action against her. Keith. So Keith fully comes up. If you remember before, none of his tweets came up. There we go. We're now seeing his tweets again, which we weren't seeing before. It just came up blank. Yep. And finally, we also found out that a lovely man called Bob Ellard was also subject to the same enforcement action. Nothing was coming up for him. Let's see. Yep, and we can now see Bob's tweets again, which we couldn't see before. So, it appears that Twitter used enforcement action against 4 members of Disabled People Against Cuts, lasting a week until Thursday the 8th of March, although Paula still appears to be in place. Why? Because we think they were using the BBC Question Time hashtag BBCQT, to promote their campaign against the Department for Work and Pensions' new benefit, Universal Credit. Basically, Twitter was censoring disabled people for daring to speak out and campaign. That is the long and short of it. It's either algorithms or intentional or whatever, but basically what Twitter does is now shut disabled people up when they're trying to campaign. Do you think that's acceptable? I don't.